In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on November 13, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Montana versus Tennessee. The Montana Grizzlies and the Tennessee Volunteers will face off on Wednesday in a college basketball matchup at Thompson-Boling Arena. This game promises to be an exciting contest as both teams are looking to make their mark early in the season. Tennessee has made a strong impression so far, showing that they are a serious contender this year. In their opening game of the season, the Volunteers defeated Gardner-Webb with a convincing 80-64 victory. They followed that up with another dominant win, this time against the Louisville Cardinals, where they triumphed 77-55. Although Tennessee was favored going into the game against Louisville, few predicted they would win by such a wide margin on the road. By halftime, they had already built a solid lead, holding a 40-26 advantage, and they never looked back. As a team, the Volunteers displayed impressive shooting accuracy, finishing the game with 56.6% shooting from the field and 52.6% from beyond the three-point arc. Montana, on the other hand, has secured 2 victories so far, but both were against non-Division I teams. Their only matchup against a Division I opponent came against Oregon, and it was a tough outing. The Grizzlies struggled mightily, with their offense only managing to score 48 points while their defense allowed 79. This led to a lopsided defeat. If Montana hopes to stay competitive in this game against Tennessee, they will need to rely heavily on their defense to keep things close. Given Tennessee's strong performances in their first 2 games, they should not face too many challenges in this matchup. In their most recent game against Louisville, the Volunteers shot an impressive 56.6% from the field, grabbed 40 rebounds, and recorded 12 team assists. However, the 20 turnovers they committed did mar the performance slightly. As for Montana, their 2 wins have come against weaker opponents, so their performance on Wednesday will likely resemble their game against Oregon, where they shot just 34%, committed 14 turnovers, and were out-rebounded 42-31 in a blowout loss. Montana's offense has been a significant concern, and given the strength of Tennessee's offense, it's likely that Montana will struggle again. The Grizzlies will likely have difficulty keeping up with Tennessee's high-powered attack, which should easily surpass the 90-point mark in this game. I don't foresee Montana putting up much of a fight in this matchup, and I expect Tennessee to win comfortably and cover the spread as the favorites. The Volunteers have been playing at a high level, and Montana's performance thus far doesn't suggest they will be able to challenge Tennessee effectively, so the Tennessee Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Montana has put together an impressive offensive showing in their 2 victories, averaging 78 points per game and shooting 48.4% from the field. Their most recent performance included a notable 94-point outing. Defensively, the Grizzlies have also been solid, allowing an average of 61 points per game, with their best defensive effort coming in Game 3 of the season when they held their opponent to just 44 points. Tennessee, however, has been equally impressive on both ends of the floor. The Volunteers have averaged 78.5 points per game, shooting nearly 54% from the field. Defensively, Tennessee has been dominant, holding opponents to fewer than 60 points per game, with their most recent performance against Louisville being a prime example, as they limited the Cardinals to just 55 points on the road. Given both teams' recent performances, I expect the total points in this game to exceed the projected total, making over the projected total as our full game total pick. Lemoyne versus Connecticut. The Lemoyne Dolphins and the Connecticut Huskies will face off on Wednesday evening in an exciting college basketball matchup at the XL Center. This game offers an intriguing contrast between a highly successful program and a team that is still working to find its footing this season. Connecticut has come out strong in the early stages of their campaign, and they enter this game with an undefeated 2-0 record. In their season opener, the Huskies dominated Sacred Heart, securing an impressive 92-56 victory. They followed that up with another resounding win against New Hampshire, winning 92-53. The Huskies showcased their offensive firepower, particularly in the second half of their most recent game, where they put up 57 points, leading to a comfortable win. Offensively, Connecticut looks poised to continue scoring at will, and this game is expected to be no different. Following this matchup, they will face East Texas Agricultural and Mechanical in their next contest. On the other hand, Lemoyne has struggled out of the gate, sitting with a 1-2 record. One of the main reasons for their early struggles has been their defensive performance. In their opening game against Syracuse, the Dolphins managed to score 82 points but ultimately fell short as their defense allowed 86 points. In their second game against Cal State Northridge, Lemoyne gave up a staggering 97 points while only managing 75 of their own, resulting in another defeat. However, they bounced back in their most recent game against Sunny Poly, putting up an impressive 107 points to secure their first win of the season. While the victory was certainly a morale booster, it's important to remember that their opponent, Sunny Poly, is a Division II team. Lemoyne will play St. Bonaventure in their next game after this one. The Lemoyne Dolphins are gearing up for a challenging matchup against the Connecticut Huskies on Wednesday night, hoping to pull off a major upset. As 38-point underdogs, the Dolphins face a monumental task, especially when going up against the reigning national champions, who have won back-to-back titles. Lemoyne did manage to secure their first win of the season in their last game, defeating Sunny Poly by 34 points, but it's important to note that the competition was much less formidable as a Division II team. Meanwhile, Connecticut has looked unstoppable so far, starting the season 2-0 with wins of 36 and 39 points. The Huskies are brimming with talent, boasting standout players like Alex Karabin, who is averaging 18.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game, Solo Ball, who is contributing 15 points per game, and Liam McNeely, who is putting up 14 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. Connecticut's roster is stacked, and this game presents a major challenge for Lemoyne, particularly given the disparity in both talent and depth. While it's a large spread for the Huskies to cover, Lemoyne's poor defense, giving up 85 points per game, could make it easy for Connecticut to rack up a high score. In contrast, Connecticut's defense has been more than solid, allowing only 54.5 points per game. One thing that has become apparent so far this season is Lemoyne's defensive struggles, and this is likely to be the difference maker in this game. Connecticut's offensive prowess has been elite, and with their depth and skill, they should have no trouble increasing the score at will. Meanwhile, Lemoyne's offense is unlikely to have the answers to keep up with Connecticut's offensive onslaught. It's hard to imagine a scenario where Lemoyne will be able to challenge Connecticut effectively in this matchup. While the Dolphins may put up some resistance at times, we've already seen Connecticut win by margins of 36 and 39 points this season. When you consider their level of competition, it's not hard to foresee another blowout victory, particularly against a Lemoyne team that's seemingly just showing up for the paycheck. When it comes to this matchup, Connecticut's superior size, skill, and talent should make them heavy favorites. Their players are simply bigger and more talented than the Dolphins, and they should have no trouble exploiting Lemoyne's weaknesses, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. For these reasons, the Connecticut Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking at the team's overall statistics, Lemoyne is averaging 88 points per game on 48.1% shooting from the field, 32.9% shooting from beyond the arc, and 71.6% from the free throw line. In comparison, Connecticut is averaging 92 points per game on 51.2% shooting from the field, 37.3% from three-point range, and 70.8% from the foul line. Given these offensive trends and the difference in defensive ability, with Connecticut likely to dictate the tempo and score more efficiently, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kent State versus Auburn. It's a non-conference showdown on the basketball court as a team from the Mid-American Conference heads to Alabama to face off against a member of the Southeastern Conference, both teams eager to notch another victory. The Kent State Golden Flashes are set to hit the road for a challenging matchup against the number 5 Auburn Tigers on Wednesday night. Kent State enters this game off an impressive 98-53 win over Miami Hamilton in their previous outing on Friday night, a game that did not have a posted line. Meanwhile, Auburn has momentum on their side after pulling off a surprising 74-69 victory over number 4 Houston on the road Saturday, managing to win outright as 5. at a half-point underdogs. This game will be the first meeting between the two programs as Division I teams, making it an exciting new chapter in their respective histories. Both Kent State and Auburn are undefeated so far this season, each holding a 2-0 record. However, the Golden Flashes are about to face a major challenge, playing on the road in a hostile environment against a powerhouse from a major conference. Kent State has secured wins against a Sun Belt team and a non-Division I opponent, which doesn't compare to the challenge of facing a Southeastern Conference powerhouse like Auburn. The Tigers have already proven their strength by defeating a top 5 team in Houston on the road, and now they return home for this matchup. While Kent State is a seasoned team with considerable talent, the difficulty of taking on a Southeastern Conference opponent with significant momentum behind them may prove to be too much for the Golden Flashes. Given their status as the stronger team and their home court advantage, the Auburn Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In terms of betting trends, Kent State has gone under the total in their only game this season that featured a posted over-under, which was their season-opening win over Louisiana. In that contest, the Golden Flashes and the Ragin' Cajuns combined for 136 points, falling short of the 144.5-point total set by oddsmakers. Kent State finished last season with an 18-14 record against the over-under in their 32 games. On the other hand, Auburn has split their first 2 games against the total this season. They fell under the total in their victory over Vermont, with the teams combining for 137 points against a line set at 142.5. However, they went over the total in their win over Houston, with the game finishing at 143 points, just edging past the 141.5-point mark set by the sportsbooks. Auburn is known for its defense, having allowed the 6th fewest points in the nation last season, and they have continued their strong defensive play into this season, currently ranking 4th in fewest points allowed. Both teams feature players with considerable size in the paint, which will force the ball further from the basket as each team looks to gain an advantage inside. This could play into Auburn's hands, but Kent State will be forced to rely on their ability to challenge Auburn's tough perimeter defense if they hope to keep the game competitive. Overall, Auburn will likely aim to slow the pace of the game, and Kent State will likely be content to follow their lead in order to shorten the game. With both teams focusing on solid defense and Auburn's desire to avoid any potential letdown after a big win, we anticipate that the game will fall short of the projected total. Thus, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Louisiana-Lafayette versus Houston. The Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns will square off against the Houston Cougars on Wednesday in a college basketball game at the Fertitta Center. To start off the season, the Ragin' Cajuns faced Kent State in their opening matchup. The Cajuns struggled in the first half, being outscored 30-27, and despite a slight improvement in the second half, where they were outscored by just 1 point, they ended up losing the game 70-66. This tough defeat highlighted some areas of concern for Louisiana, particularly on the offensive end. In their second game, the Ragin' Cajuns rebounded by securing a win over Texas Dallas. The Cajuns entered the halftime break with a narrow 2-point lead, but they came out strong in the second half, outscoring Texas Dallas 48-33 to secure an 82-65 victory. This win helped Louisiana get into the win column, though their performance was inconsistent, and they'll need to build on this as they move forward in the season. On the other hand, the Houston Cougars had a dominant start to their season, easily defeating Jackson State in their opener. Houston took a commanding 52-13 lead in the first half and never looked back, cruising to a 97-40 victory. Their next challenge came in the form of Auburn, where the Cougars faced their first setback of the season. Despite leading at halftime 33-28, Houston struggled in the second half, getting outscored 46-36, resulting in a 74-69 loss to Auburn. This loss was a tough blow for Houston, but it also showed the team's vulnerability. When examining the two teams' performances so far, it's clear that the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns have struggled in their only real test against a Division I opponent, and they seem to lack the necessary offensive power to compete with a powerhouse team like Houston. The Cajuns have failed to cover the spread in 6 of their last 8 games, which adds to the concern about their ability to perform at a high level against strong competition. Meanwhile, the Houston Cougars are a much more talented team and should be motivated to bounce back from their recent loss to Auburn. With the Cougars' depth and skill, this game is expected to be one-sided, so the Houston Cougars to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking at the statistical side of things, the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns have been shooting 31.7% from three-point range in 68 27.5% from the free throw line. On the defensive end, they have been limiting opponents to just 25% shooting from beyond the arc and averaging 31 rebounds per game. Meanwhile, the Houston Cougars have been highly efficient, shooting 51.5% from three-point range and 79.3% from the free throw line. Defensively, Houston has been just as dominant, allowing opponents to shoot only 23.9% from three-point range and pulling down an average of 30.5 rebounds per game. Given the gap in shooting and defensive metrics, as well as Houston's overall superiority, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.